All right. We go ahead. Can I speak a little? I'm speaking in the mic. It's a little loud, so it's giving a little bit of feedback. So if you can turn it down, that would be good. All right. Can you? The microphone comes or say? Test, 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 test. Okay, yeah, is that better? All right, so let's talk about what we did yesterday a little bit. So we talked about kind of a radical idea. You know, we have Make in India, and I think it's mostly political crap. Unless you have some USP, it's complete crap. What is it? What does it mean? How does it make sense? Make in India when China makes stuff in mass and the robots are taking those jobs. When America's innovative and Japan is quality. And so where does India fit in? Where's the opportunity for India to really thrive? And I believe there is an opportunity, and that opportunity is UX. But if there's anything that you saw yesterday, I hope, is that it's not a trivial field. So it's not a field where I go, oh, you know, my heart's in the right place, and somehow magically good things will happen. It's a field where your underlying ethos will support it, your underlying value system will support it, but you need the technology. And that technology includes a whole understanding of how people function. People function differently than we think. Your eyes don't work the way you think. You don't decide the way you think, all of that. So there is an opportunity, and this was interesting. I was chatting last night with Apala, who is getting better but not going to be here, I don't think. And you know, we were saying that kind of our journey is over. We're like, okay, is it time to like just go sit on a mountain, maybe? Because in the last 17 years, we've gone from the initial Kai meeting in Mumbai, where there were 6 of us or 8 of us. I brought my guitar. I made up a little blues song about UX in India. And today, you fill auditoriums. So we're excited about that. We've seen so many people getting trained, getting their CUAs, so many people coming, working at HFI, our alumni. And so we actually think that it's now your job. So you've got to do it. And that opportunity is there. It has the ability to transform not just the software industry, but the entire business environment of India. So if you talk about good user experience, it's not just software. It's devices. It's automobiles, right? I had one of the biggest car companies in my office yesterday, the day before yesterday, and talking about experience design, doing research, understanding persuasion stuff. So it's an exciting opportunity. And I believe that there are enough people now getting serious about it, learning about it, we'll see it move ahead. We started to see the way that you address in a startup, in a large corporate, whatever it is, the way we address user experience. We don't just like wish for it. And a lot of CEOs today go like, we want great customer experience, and their response to that is printing a big banner and putting it in the front of their office. We love our customers, little heart. But of course, that's complete crap. And that doesn't really do anything. we need to be able to do the activities. There's a set of activities around the omnichannel design. Why is your organization special? Why do I have a relationship with you? Why will customers come at all? What differentiates you? And that differentiation is likely to be primarily in terms of some emotional connection. It's not, oh, we have this feature. Features can be copied. But it'll be, I trust you. Or you're special for me in some way. You fit with my lifestyle in some way. So being able to understand that is job one. And then what are the channels I'm going to create? We saw there's a lot of them. We did that little telemedicine thing and we're like, wow, there might have been 30 channels there by the time you look at the apps specific to different medicines and things like that. So we have to understand that and not leave our customers sitting there going, where do I go? Which channel do I use? So we have to do that design work. And then we get into actually doing quality design. And the most basic stuff and the most critical is usability. Speed, accuracy, training, satisfaction, safety. Right? Am I designing something that people will be able to use effectively? And we saw that gets approached structurally, gets approached in detailed design. And that approach is based on science and methodology. And if we don't approach it that way, you're not going to get it right. You don't just magically, there it is. That's not what we're advocating here. What we're advocating is understanding how people process information and optimizing that. Knowing the tricks of the trade in terms of how to make things easier. And then we started to talk about emotional design. And today we're going to go beyond that into persuasion engineering next. I'll first take any questions, any topic at all. And Pune is, if you guys are on, you can ask a question. I think if you don't, we're going to turn off the Connect. Like, I feel like spied on. It's like having the American government, like, well, they're doing it anyway. Questions?
So you have talked a lot about how AI is coming ahead. So one of the manifestation of AI is the chatbots that are there.
This one?
The chatbots that are there. So let's say it's on Facebook Messenger. So there the UI as in is not there, but still the UX part has to be there, the user experience. So how do you, how does a company or how does an organization take the customer the whole journey without any UI? Because everything has to be just in the form of messages and still provide
Still a UI.
no, but
What?
everything is just in one font of a text. There is no design changes. There is no use of different colors, use of any persuasion or images.
Remember that green screen green screen I showed you yesterday?
The mainframe.
Before and after, the mainframe? That's not a new problem. Right? So we've been doing mainframes, we've been doing USSD.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a well understood thing how to do those more limited interactions. The fact that there's AI behind it just lets me, in some ways, do a better job of responding to what people are saying. We don't really have natural language yet, but we're getting pretty good voice recognition, which is a long journey. I remember we had voice recognition stuff going on at Bell Labs, 1979, 80. and it was terrible. And it's getting near the point where, and you've done that, right? You get on your mobile phone and, okay, we're going to try it by voice, and then you get frustrated because it gets it wrong, and then you go back to, it's like, right? We're kind of just, and it's difficult because of the way that voice is really processed. So voice is processed, again, not the way you think. Okay? We very much process voice based on context. So if I say speech or peach, you may not be able to tell the difference. Even what you hear, have you ever heard of the McGurk effect? This is just too cool. Let me see if I can get it. It's like all of knowledge. We'll see if we have a good enough. Yeah. I wonder where the sound comes out of this. It's gonna matter. Do we have an ability to do sound? Oh, it'll do it off here. I need sound on. Sound. Ghana. It'll work. Okay, cool. It is. I mean, there is sound. Oh well, that's there. You may need to pull it out and push it. Yeah.
Our brains do a remarkable job of making sense of it all. It seems easy enough to separate the sounds we hear from the sights we see. But there is one illusion that reveals this isn't always the case.
Ba, ba, ba.
Have a look at this. What do you hear?
Ba, ba, ba. Ba, ba, ba.
But look what happens when we change the picture.
Ba, ba, ba. Ba, ba, ba. Ba.
And yet, the sound hasn't changed. In every clip, you are only ever hearing ba with a B.
Ba, ba, ba.
It's an illusion known as the McGurk effect.
Ba.
Take another look.
Ba.
Concentrate first on the right of the screen.
Ba.
Now to the left of the screen.
Ba.
The illusion occurs because what you are seeing clashes with what you are hearing.
In the illusion, what we see overrides what we hear. So the mouth movements we see as we look at a face can actually influence what we believe we're hearing. If we close our eyes, we actually hear the sound as it is. If we open our eyes, we actually see how the mouth movements can influence what we're hearing. Ba, ba, ba.
It's a bizarre effect. Remember, the only sound you're hearing is ba with a B.
Ba, 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 ba.
What's remarkable about this illusion is even knowing how it's done doesn't seem to make a difference.
Ba. The effect works no matter how much you know about the effect. I've been studying the McGurk effect.
So it's still playing, right? What the hell?
I guess it is echoing in our minds.
Yeah, I think so. Kill it. All right. So you can see interpretation of sound is a lot more complicated than you might think. Now, there's a whole set of issues about what AI is, what it can do. And AI, I mean, people do, and there are serious, I mean, Stephen Hawking and stuff go like, AI is going to end up destroying us. But I don't know that that's true. I think it's unlikely. But what it will do is destroy our jobs, right? Because what happens is AI allows the computer to have more and more intelligence. And so more and more jobs can be done automatically. The UX job is going to be very slow to get taken over because it requires so much in terms of communication, empathy, and cognizing things. But that's more of a threat from AI than anything else. Microphone?
For a person like me, who's not a native mobile user, but we were first on the net and then we got onto the mobile experience. Do people like us, how do we visually look at things from the left to the right or top to bottom? Because I don't know how I visually process.
But I know. So first of all, I'm not quite sure what a native mobile user is, but the thing is, people have different scanning patterns based on what they're trying to do. So actually, different page designs, different intent creates a different scan. You can actually see, and there is kind of a typical scan, an L-shaped scan, where you'll go across and then down the side. There's also, in other contexts, people start kind of in the middle of the page. So depending on the design of the page, and I can mess with you all kinds of different ways. So you'll tend to first look at things, well, you'll look at faces. We're drawn to look at faces. We'll look at things that are high in complexity, that are highly saturated colors, that are moving. So there's a whole set of things I can do to mess with that. So the answer is that we have to think about the eye scan we want for our customer or user, and then we engineer around that. And I think that, so I haven't seen a very different eye scan because somebody is used to using mobile, or now mobile is a baby face, we call it, right? Small screen. And so there's some restrictions on that. You have scrolling issues. There's a bunch of specific design things around that, but the scan pattern is still very much there and kind of predictable. I mean, it's not individually predictable. So if you watch an individual scan, you saw how their eye kind of bounces around. But in general, you get an overall scan that people go. Other questions? Everyone knows everything? Yeah? Matun?
I have a question regarding I design more of on the existing product what we have. So what process of UX should I follow to add a new feature or improvise existing feature of that product?
So there's a whole methodology around maintenance. And there's, first of all, the ability to do an X-ray. So I can do expert review, I can do usability testing to find out what needs to be improved. And there's a whole bunch of approaches to finding improvements that are needed. There's something we used to call performance analysis in the 70s, and now we call it customer journey mapping. The only difference is the pictures look prettier, which basically goes, let me understand what the customer's workflow is and find places that are issues. So there's a whole set of things like that you can do, and then you go about making changes. And those changes can be very tactical changes. I'm just fixing one thing, and now they're not confused anymore. Or they can be much more strategic in terms of more major redesign, in which case we're going through more of a full design process. Yeah? But there's UX work to do in maintenance, and there's definitely UX work to do in internal systems as well as customer facing. Pune, come on, what the hell? I'm just going to turn those guys off, right? They're like, yeah, we don't have to participate. We're just going to sit here and drink beer. And,
Okay. My question is, how do I account for cultural differences in usability design? When we say an application is global in nature, how do I ensure that, the features or stuff that I do is something that is globally accepted?
We're going to have a whole section on that today. So the answer is that it's complicated. But we know a lot about what the cultural differences are that we need to pay attention to. And to some extent, we can just look stuff up. So I know if I'm designing for the Philippines, if I'm designing for China, to some extent, I can look stuff up. Okay. So we have this thing called an obstruction device, right? But sometimes I can mess with the way you see things. I can make the cheese look bigger. I can push you across. We can think of usability as whether somebody can do something. Yeah, that hook can work. And persuasion more like, will it work? Will people want to do it? That's what we work with. Okay. Now, one of the things you're probably exposed to is folks that go, oh, what I want to do is make things look nicer. And so this is a redesign. The HFI did it. It looks nice. But I want you to think for a minute. Before you get all that excited about visual design as the wow factor, let's think about the billion-dollar sites, right? The sites that are just, and like you have Facebook, right? One of the most, and look at their graphic treatment. They have blue. And here's Amazon. They have, well, they ran out of blue. They couldn't afford it. Right? At YouTube, they can't afford any of it. These are incredibly successful sites. Fidelity, fantastic financial site. But what's going on? They're incredibly persuasive, and it's not the graphic look. So we do care. In fact, we measure it. So this is a redesign we did just recently. And the old one was tested, and it was seen as primarily cluttered. The new one, easy to use, friendly, relaxed, quality, simple, reliable, and that's good. Okay. So we're able to actually measure this thing. It's good, but there's much more going on. There's a field of usability. There's a field that HFI calls PET, and I apologize. PET stands for persuasion, emotion, and trust, and that's not even right. Because really what happens is you create trust, and then you can create the emotion you want, and then you persuade. It's just that TEP sounds really bad, so we called it PET. Marketing department, HFI doesn't do gambling work, but we had a team in California that was working for the government, and before I found out about it, they worked for the lottery. And there was hell to pay, but what they found out was interesting. So if you see people playing the lottery, bankers love it, right? The bankers are like, What a deal. You put in, you put in 50 rupees, you put in 100 rupees, I have to give back 50. What a deal, right? And you just got to go, these people have trouble with math. But in reality, they know they're going to lose. When you study it, they don't think they're going to win. They're playing the lottery more like you put in some money and ride a roller coaster. It's about the dream. It's about the excitement. And we can learn about that. People are motivated not as an investment. It's not. It's a ridiculous investment. They don't do it that way. We can see how users go through and they get excited and they play and you can track their emotions where they buy a ticket, they feel hope. And then they check the numbers and they're excited. And then they lose, they always do. And so they don't win. They're disappointed, mistrustful, and it builds trust afterward. The whole thing cycles. I can understand the cycle of emotion. I can mess with it. I can go in and say, well, is this really exciting? No, I want to make something that's more like a game. And then we had this page. This page shows you how much goes to education. And that's good because if you play the lottery, you'll lose, and then you feel like a loser. And so this makes you feel instead like a philanthropist. This is from our basic class in persuasion engineering. And every one of these lines, every dot on there, indicates a different magic spell. Something you can do to influence people to convert, influence people to go across and have the cheese. So it's 3 days of that. Let me show you how we can mess with people a little bit. So you see things in context. You judge things based on relativity. So here's a red circle and here's a red circle. They don't look the same size. Unless I hold up my hand and then you can tell they're exactly the same size. Okay? So I'm in San Francisco and I'm meeting with the president of Macy's.com. Crazy guy. He comes up, puts his arm around me and goes, you guys have been great. You've taken us from $500 million to $1 billion a year, but you screwed up. And then he has his staff pull this up and he says, you screwed up. And I'm looking at it going, see, everything's lined up, the font's big enough, it's okay. But he says, you know what? People see the shipping and tax, they go, that's a lot of money, and they leave the site. So I have to make this look small. So what I do is I put a big number next to it. Right, it's complete crap, right? But you put a big number, now those numbers look smaller. They use that even today. Okay, ladies, I need your help. So which of these guys is more attractive? Jerry, no? Actually, we have research that says they're identical in attractiveness. But I can take one and make them look ugly. I can take Jerry, put him in Photoshop, and make him look like an ugly Jerry. Or I can take Tom and make him look like an ugly Tom. Now, if I show a lady just these guys or just these guys, do I get a different choice about who they decide to want to go out with? So if I show them that, they'll pick Jerry because we like to make a decision based on a comparison. If I show them the bottom one, they pick Tom. So the message here is if you're going out to like a bar or something, you want to go out with somebody who looks like you but is a little bit uglier. but you can make money off this. So this is The Economist, and they have economist.com subscriptions, $59, print and web, $125, and most people get the cheaper one, and they're sad. So what they do is they offer a print subscription for $125. Who would ever get that? It's ridiculous, right? But this is an ugly Jerry. Because then what they get is this. Oh, that was on it. So now, instead of 68, 16, nobody gets this, but now they shifted people. Think about the business implications of doing something like that. It's the difference between a company living and not. Sometimes there's a conflict between usability and persuasion. So which of these pages is more usable? From a usability point of view? No. This one, I'm seeing all these records. Here, I've got this whole screen for 4 records. There are only 4 useful records here. So as a usability engineer, I would go, well, I want to do this, but this is going to sell more. And I'll tell you something really weird. Even if you know this, even if you know the principles and all that, it still works. Like I read, oh my gosh, I better, right? If you go on to Make My Trip and see that thing, that's us. All right, I got to mess with you a little bit. So you have a friend in the US, and you want to have delivered a 1.2 pound fine chocolate champagne bottle. It's really just chocolate. It's printed with a custom label and delivered to their home. And I want to try an experiment. So what I'd like you to do is just get out a piece of paper, and everybody, close your eyes, shut your eyes. Okay, everybody else, look here, shut your eyes, good, okay. All right, write down this number. Okay. Then next to it, write down whether you'd pay that much for the chocolate, yes or no. And then next to that, write down the maximum amount you would pay for it. Okay, you can open your eyes. Folks, close your eyes. Over here, write down this number. Write down whether you would pay that much, yes or no. And then write down the maximum amount you would pay. All right, so let's see where we are. Ima, what'd you get? How much? $50, okay. 100. How much? 100. Huh? 100. How much? How much? 30. 10. How much? 150. Okay, let's try over here. How much? How much? How much? 6. How much? 10. How much? How much? Cheap bastards. But these guys are very nice. Huh? But they're looking at you going, what the hell is wrong with you? What happened? I messed with you. What I did was I anchored you. So you wrote down either a small amount or a large amount. And as a result, completely different. So let me talk about, I'm going to give you a technique, and then we're going to try using it. The technique's called framing. And it's a really tricky technique. This is the original study on it. And what it says is the way that you talk about something can affect somebody's decision. So there's a disease, and you have 600 people that are sick. And you're the head of the emergency preparedness group, and you have two different programs you can use. Okay? Program A and Program B. So if I go to you and say, Program A, 200 people will be saved, and there's a 1/3 probability that 600 people will be saved, and 2/3 probability no people will be saved. Okay? 72% will pick Program A. Okay? If I say instead, there are two programs, Program C. In Program C, 400 people will die. Is there a difference between 200 people will be saved and 400 will die? No. And there's a 1/3 probability nobody will die, right? So this is exactly the same thing. But now 22%. Because if I say 200 people will be saved, you're like, yeah, I want that. If I say 400 people will die, it's the same thing, but that sounds bad. By the way, this method you can use like with your spouse and stuff like that. So the basic idea here is that if I can control the criteria of what's good, I can win in a comparison. So if we go, so here's another study, right? So if I go, sorry about the beef, but it's true. So ground beef, if I tell people it's 75% lean, they like it better than if I say it's 25% fat. Because it's about leanness, it's not. Right? It's used in politics all the time. So right-wing folks are told, don't say global warming, say climate change. It sounds less dangerous, right? Or inheritance tax or estate tax. We're going to call it a death tax. It's the same thing. These are all the same thing. We have this thing in the US about whether the state should legislate whether or not you can have an abortion. And so there's the American Taliban, right, the right-wing Christians, and they go, abortion, it's against God, it's against Christ, and then so we want to like punish women who do that and send doctors to jail. So they go, it's about life. So they're the right to life. And you're going to be like, no, it's right to kill. The other side goes, wait a minute, I can't go to a woman and say, you have to make a baby. How do I do that? So they go, it's a right to choose. And so if you're against that, it's like the right, no right to choose. Like, so I control what it's about. So when you talk about something, you can control what is the criteria of good. Is it about killing? Is it about freedom? So obsessive compulsive disorder, psychological disease. So here's a website, and when you look at the website, if you have OCD, they've controlled it. So it's all about, oops, sorry, it's all about your health and your family. Well, now you're going, OCD, it's a disease. It would have to be about your health and probably your family. That makes sense, right? But it doesn't have to be that. So here's another site, and it's all about treatment options, right? So what is the right treatment? All right. Here's a site where it's about natural treatment. It doesn't say explicitly that, you know, natural stuff is good, and it's not necessarily particularly good, but the definition of good, what people want, is natural. This one, I mean, this is like praying to. There's this thing in the US where, you know, there's been a movement to try to say, oh, well, you guys have weird stuff about that too. It's like gay people, gay is like something you can give people therapy to change, right? And so they have a saying, pray away the gay. Like, yeah, that's gonna work. You guys are crazy. Like, have you ever seen, can you imagine anybody going, you know, I think what I'm going to do, my choice is I want to be gay because I want the abuse. I want to get beat up by my, nobody's going to do that. You're born that way, right? Anyway, bank. This is, ING Bank is about saving money, right? JP Morgan is about class and sophistication. So I control the narrative. I control in the site. I'm like, it's a sale. Yeah, that's what I want in a bank. No, it's sophisticated. That's what I want. So you control it. And what we want, and here's HSBC, and this is an international bank. So what's good is it being international. Control it. And this is a redneck bank. When we make a frame, when we decide how we want to position that conversation, we want to understand our user. And what I'm going to ask you to do is develop an ad, like a magazine ad. And I'd like that ad to have a frame that fits a given type of user. We're going to have a mobile wallet. Okay? Half of you are going, yeah, I'm working on one of those. And we're going to be in our same groups. The groups on this side are then you're both going to do, all the groups will do trendsetters. But the ones on this side are going to do American trendsetters. An American trendsetter would typically be Jessica Myers, 24 years old. Okay. Creative designer. What are some things about the American trendsetter? They love credit cards, don't like brands. They're very independent. I want to, you know, I'm going to make my own style. I'm individualistic. Right? This is the American thing. So she's a lot about defining her own look, her own persona. What about a Japanese trendsetter? 50-year-old housewife. So the people that set the trends in the US, it's like 20-something-year-old girls. Here it's like 50-year-old housewives. Will not use a credit card, hates credit cards, loves brands, right? Loves the idea of international travel. It's all about luxury. So we have those two different things. The people on this side American, this side Japanese. Okay? So make a magazine ad for me. We've got big pieces of paper and pens. And what I want you to do is think about the frame of what we want to talk about when we talk about that wallet. I don't care about the features of the wallet. What the wallet is isn't that important. What it is what's good about it to me. Okay? Are people clear on it? Okay, so for example, I might, so if I'm an American, what's good about a motorcycle? It's a Harley. It's rugged, heavy, right? Sounds tough, has an outlaw mystique. Here in India, I mean, you guys don't have like that many guys who are like, you know, like bikers. It's, right? There's some, okay, you're there, right? But it's not like in the US, there's a lot of them, right? I mean, we have like the Sturgis rally, 250,000 guys show up, and the leather and the chains, and like, hey man, I'm an accountant from Chicago. It's like, okay. Yeah. So, but here you have, I want you know, and I want an economical bike that I can use in my family, and I can put 5 people on it and all that stuff. Okay. Yeah. Hmm? So it's about what will be the appealing set of things about it. So what I don't want to see is this is the best mobile wallet. That's the opposite. We want to be very specific about why this wallet is good for you, whether you're doing the Japanese, and I'll put these up and switch them back and forth, or the American. Okay? Questions? Make sense? I'll give you about 20 minutes or so.
So just so all of you know, there were a couple of workbooks left behind, which you may have been looking for when you came in. So you can just kind of see if your workbooks are here, if you left them behind. Yep.
We should be wrapping up here. And I think what we'll do, how are we doing? Pretty much ready? Ready? People are like, all right, what we'll do is let's go ahead. We're going to have a break, which will be generous, 17 minutes. You can finish up and have tea. And then we'll get going. Let's see what you've come up with.
Can I announce what the feedback? Hey guys. Hello. Hi.
Hello.
The feedback form, which is in the lanyard. Wait, can I have one of the lanyards? I'll just show you. It's at the back. It's behind your name cards. So just don't forget to fill it out. Fill it out now if you're taking a break, and just take a few seconds to fill it out and give it back to me. I'll come around and collect it.
All right, let's get back together. All right, let's see some examples. Let's see. Looking for a confident looking team. All right. Who'd like to go? You want to go first? Come on, Dima. Yeah? Will it take an HDMI? Probably not. But you can stand up and tell people about it. Can we get a microphone?
Okay, so we worked on two options. The TG here is the independent American girl, American woman. So we took on.
Hey.
Which one? No, it's okay. We'll mail. Okay, so we've taken the cue of the independent person that she is.
Hold on. Kripiya karo. Chup. Okay, let's try it from the beginning, because when everybody's talking, I can't even tell what we're talking about. Dhruv, are we doing something special there? So you're going to try to... Okay, so we'll take a different group until they get the projection. Another group would like to go? Come on.
Project it from your... Which team is taking it?
Hi, we got the Japanese 50-year-old lady, and how do we sort of position a mobile wallet for her? So before we actually started designing a magazine ad, we sort of profiled her a little bit, which made us understand that this is whatever details that we were given over here, that she's averse to technology. She finds her husband's mobile also very irritating. She's really into brands and what are the other things? Just a second, sorry. Yeah, she loves pampering herself and she's extremely brand conscious. For her, convenience is of absolute importance. She doesn't like doing things herself. It's usually other people doing it for her. And she's a socialite effectively. She likes going out with her friends and her family and for lunches and shopping and stuff like that. She's also she's a complete, yeah, she's very posh and those are the kind of spaces that she likes to visit, right? So and also the most important thing is that she dislikes logic and rational explanations. So keeping all of that in mind, we decided not to tell her that, we decided not to position this particular mobile wallet as actually a mobile wallet. Rather, it is a gateway to exclusive experiences, right? Because the minute you tell her, oh, with this mobile wallet, you can get 5% off or 20% off, it's just going to turn her off because she's not interested in the discounts. In fact, the minute a discount is associated with it, she's going to automatically just be like, oh, it's not for me. I mean, I'm better than that kind of thing. So we decided to position it as a gateway to exclusive experiences. And hence we called it the Agori Saifu, which is, Agori actually stands for luxury in Japanese language, and Saifu is a purse. So effectively it's your luxury purse that this woman has access to. And the line that we came underneath it is luxury you deserve, just to sort of make her feel like she deserves this particular wallet and not everybody else can have it. So we're almost putting her on that pedestal because that's where she likes to be. And she almost looks down upon other people. Yeah. So the image of our print ad is actually a high street in Japan, say Tokyo, with all of these really very posh stores that this woman visits. And a bunch of women her age or maybe slightly younger than her carrying shopping bags in this high street with our brand name. And the copy that we've come up with is a new age experience. So nowhere are we saying it's a mobile wallet, but we're actually saying that it's an experience, a new age experience to celebrate your dreams and desires wherever you go. So wherever you go is very important because she loves to travel, right? And it's It's a very convenient thing that she literally has in her phone. And now on your mobile, special previews, exclusive dining experiences, and an international concierge service just a touch away, again reinforcing the convenience aspect. So download now on your mobile or call us at 1-800 blah blah blah. And this entire thing is actually going to be in a cutout of an iPhone, because iPhone is the most commonly used mobile phone in Tokyo, amongst these women. Right? So it's not a mobile wallet, it's a gateway to exclusive experiences that we've defined. And these experiences can come together through partnerships with boutique stores or restaurants or clubs and stuff like that.
All right.
Thank you.
Very good. So that was a great example of the right kind of thinking here. So what we're doing is we're saying, all right, let me understand this user population and let me see what's going to resonate for them. And then whatever I'm selling, it's a wallet, but now we've talked about it in that frame. We've talked about it in things that are going to make sense. If you go, and this is a dangerous thing, know thy user, they're not you. You might go, well, what I'd like in mobile wallet is lots of discounts. And yet for this user, it would be like, what's that about? I'm not interested in that. So this is the right kind of thinking. Great job. All right? You ready? Yeah. Yeah.
So just a bit of a background, we tried two cues for this. One is on the independent, free bird, free spirit thought, which talks about freedom and complete control. That's what this woman wants. So you became that woman who could pay for her bills. Uh, the box there actually is the picture of the mobile app, the wallet app, and some copy about anytime, anywhere, accepted everywhere, and attractive discounts and offers, because the TG also is into a lot of shopping expenses and things like that. And this is what the TG would be looking for. That we tried. The other one which Parth has is on the negative side of the framing, where we actually saying don't let others decide what you're saying. So it's a picture of a girl carrying her a purse with some customization on it, and then it shows a wallet, the mobile wallet, which can be customized to her needs.
Okay. So this one is about doing your own thing. So it's about customizing to you, and that's good. This one, I guess it's talking about the experience of gaining independence, which is for women in the US is going to be a very sensitive thing. And she kind of looks like she got tossed out of a car. So I'm a little worried about that. But that said, the idea of resonating with independence is good. So, okay, this group.
We tried to do it in Japanese, totally in Japanese, because our user will understand. And
Says for all your needs. Okay. This says for all your needs, and this is what it looked like on the phone.
actually, we are going to have some icons over it, but time. And these are the different types of categories where she can spend that, use that wallet, and to.
Once you click in, that then all these options will open.
We have a QR code, and it will download now in Japanese also.
Wait. So this is she QR code what?
That will not work for an iPhone.
Is she oriented that way is the question.
She wouldn't be.
Doubt it. So what's good about the mobile wallet?
Well, it's free.
It's what?
It's free.
Is okay, hang on. So who is the user?
Yeah.
Is free going to appeal? You're dead.
Oh.
You're dead. It's over. Is this a high status thing? It's free. Year's over. Your company just died. Seriously.
Good to know.
Company did.
You start a company also.
So what is good about the mobile phone? We don't know. It's free. Won't resonate for this population. You like it because you were in this side. You're cheap. How much did you put down for the chocolate? $50. 50? Oh, that's pretty high. Okay, go ahead. All right. Yeah.
So the target customer that we are looking at is an independent 24-year-old American girl. What we've tried to design is a simple ad. What we are trying to show is a pocket, a denim pocket out here with the logo of the wallet in the middle of it. We are showing a phone which is inside the pocket itself, and we are showing various affiliations, various brands that we are affiliated with, giving them different deals with them. We are showing them as small bubbles coming out. We have just displayed the various platforms that the platform is available, and we've simply put the text.
What's good about the phone? Good about the mobile wallet?
Simple, fast, and secure. Plus, we're just showing that all the affiliations that we really have.
We show that you can get a brand, Starbucks, good or bad. For you, it's good, Starbucks. But this is the Japanese?
No, this is the American.
I shouldn't be asking that question. Okay, so simple, fast, secure, are those the hot buttons? No, that's not going to resonate. That maybe resonates for you, but that's not what that trendsetter is interested in. So your company's dead.
Okay, sure.
Who has a company that's going to be alive? Because I'm getting depressed. Come on up. At least we have some surviving companies.
So this is about American individualistic trendsetter. And we have, so what is our thinking is we will have a screen grab of our mobile wallet screen. And we want to depict first, we have a product in the middle, and we have a personalized thing like your profile picture. We have options like set your preferences, images. We want to support individualistic behavior. So we have they write their reviews. They can view. They can share. So we are talking about a techie individual. So they can share their experiences. Then they can earn money. We have deals. You share your write reviews and earn money. So they can earn money. They can have a chat box, and we want to depict the pictures.
Wait. So we're getting feature.
Yep.
What's good about the wallet?
It allows you to earn money first. It is.
Is that something that's on the list for the American trendsetter?
Yes.
Earning money. She likes bargains.
Earning was also there.
Okay.
Second thing, they don't care about brands.
So I think earning money is one thing. So I have a job, I'm making money, that's a good thing. That's very different than a reward system.
Sorry?
You're talking about a reward system. You're not offering me a job.
Yeah.
You're offering me discounts.
Discounts and referral bonuses, yes.
Bonuses.
Yeah.
Is she gonna like that?
Money's money.
No. For you, maybe. But for her, this is being manipulated. She's not going to be very happy about a marketing thing like that. So what what's good about it? What's good about the wallet?
Then second is that sharing, that she likes blogging. So basically expressive individual. So they can express here.
Okay, maybe.
She can set the preferences like fitness, sports, and depending on that, the content will vary.
Setting preference. So it's configurable.
Yeah.
Okay, now that's an interesting one. Personalization is something that's very hot and mostly doesn't work. So most of the time we spend a bunch of money and we go, here, you can set up your home page. And it's like nobody uses it. So if you've got this model that, oh, I'm making a banking dashboard and I'm going to go in and configure it. I can set up things. I can set up an alert or something like that if it's value add, but I'm not your designer.
What?
But, one second.
Yeah.
But I can see where you're coming from with that for that American segment, in that this is individualized for you. And so I see where you're coming from. So I'm nervous. It may not work, but it's